Good evening, students. Around 1 week back, we had prelims examination 2021. There are mixed reviews for that paper. Some people are saying it is easy, and some are saying it is to some extent tough, and it is tougher than the last year's paper, as said by some of the aspirants. My opinion is that the paper is very much tough. Both GS paper 1 and GS paper 2. It is hard because UPSC went the other side. I mean, not in a conventional manner, the questions are being asked. They are asked in some non-conventional manner, which UPSC did not ask from past 4 to 5 years. For example, sports-related questions. UPSC was not asking these kind of questions from past 5 to 6 years, but recently they have asked 3 questions. They have asked from the sports, and in the name of 100 questions, they have asked around 200 to 250 questions because simple questions were not there. Most of the questions are three statement questions or match the following or assertion and reason also they have asked in 2021 prelims paper, which UPSC did not ask from past 5 to 6 years. So in this manner, if you see, UPSC has always kept its distinctiveness or uniqueness by giving surprises to the aspirants in every paper. From this aspect, we can say paper is on the tougher side rather than the easier side. So let's see some of the questions in this session of the prelims 2021 paper. I'm not going to discuss what is the answer for that, but at last I am going to say how you have to prepare, how you should be prepared for the next year's examination. This is the main aim of this particular session. Okay, without wasting much of the time, let's look into the question paper of 2021. So this is the question paper of prelims 2021 of set A. Most of the questions, if you see the question paper, they've asked economics question in a serial manner. Next, they have asked environmental questions in a serial manner, polity questions in a serial manner. So first question to around 15th or 16th question, you will see the economics kind of questions. This is also not the pattern in around 3 or 4 years back, because the questions used to be mixed. One question will be from the economic section and the other question will be from the polity section. But this time it is not like that. Continuously they have asked economics questions, continuously they have asked environmental questions, related questions, and continuously they have asked polity related questions. Like that, they went on asking the questions in a subjective manner. And if you see the current affairs related thing also, the weightage for the current affairs related questions have reduced. So this is what the difference between last year's paper and this year's paper. Last year's paper also people felt it is tough. That is the reason why the cutoff has reduced it to 92. It was 92, and the main other reason for reducing the cutoff is because of the CSAT paper. CSAT paper this time is also on the tougher side. So these are some of the economics related questions about RBI governor they have asked. And as we have discussed in the previous sessions, the strategies or some of the keywords which UPSC generally uses, we can eliminate the options through these keywords. But this time, this particular strategy also failed. If you see the second question, they have asked all casual workers are entitled for the employees provident fund coverage. All casual workers are entitled for regular working hours and overtime payment. The government can, by a notification, specify that an establishment of or industry shall pay wages only through its bank account. So they are using these keywords wantedly to confuse the aspirants. So strategies are generally not working in these days, like 2020 paper, 2019 paper, and 2021 paper. Strategies are a little bit not working, but it is essential to know how these strategies work. Then what are the basic conceptual questions they have asked? If you see this question, which of the following steps is most likely to be taken at a time of an economic recession? So this is a kind of conceptual question. You have to know what is economic recession and what government can take step to reduce this. What are the reasons for economic recession? How we should boost the growth? So conceptual questions, nothing current affairs thing they have asked, right? Other things remaining unchanged. The market demand for the good might increase if. So how demand and supply theory? This is completely demand and supply theory, the basic aspect of the economy. When you read the economics, you have to start with demand and supply curve. So there completely focusing on your basic understanding of the economics, basic conceptual knowledge they're asking. This urban cooperative is also micro micro level question. This is a micro level question. Generally, UPSC don't focus on that, and aspirants also look for the private sector banks or public sector banks, but they don't focus much on these urban cooperative banks or rural cooperative banks. But in these days, they are asking these kind of questions, micro level questions also. Government yield or bond yields influenced by which of the following. So, if you know the basic understanding of the economics, definitely you are going to make most of the questions correct in this economic section. uh, which of the above can be included in the foreign direct investments. So all these things you can easily answer in the economics section. Then Mali multiplier effect, which I have discussed in the uh, when I was discussing the economics current affairs or economics concepts in the class, I have discussed about this money multiplier. Which of the following is the most inflationary in its effects? So if you see demand supply curve, inflationary reasons, which comes under the FDI, only the basic questions they are asking. If you should be able to answer these economics questions, because completely conceptual understanding only, completely conceptual understanding. Nothing. They haven't asked about any particular economics scheme. They haven't asked about any factual question type in this economics section. Why central bank is called as a lender of last resort? This thing. Okay, what is with reference to water credit? What does it mean? So this is to some extent a kind of current affairs based question, but this is also, if you have uh, uh, common understanding, you can easily think that option 1 and option 3 would be right. And it's a global initiative launched by World Health Organization and World Bank. So you have to know which has launched this water credit. So this is a current affairs based question in the economics thing. Then this R2 code of practices is also a current affairs question. Basically, what I'm planning to say is that the current affairs questions are there. They are not completely eliminated. They're not completely omitted from this paper, but they are there. But you can easily eliminate the options, and you can come to the answer. So R2, when I have seen this question, what can be the R2? R2 can be, there are two R's should be there in this R2. So what are these two R's? So one can be reduce and one can be recycle. So this is what, by seeing the options, you should come to you should able to come to this conclusion that two R's stand for what? Recycle, or if it is environmental responsible practices in electronics, recycling and industry, ecological management of wetlands of international importance under Ramsar Convention. So the options are very much far away. So this is how you have to think in the examination hall. And copper smelting plants. So no one knows the answer. What, no one will read the what is copper smelting or what gases are released from this copper smelting. All these things they don't generally study about. But in the examination, you should be in the presence of mind. You should be having this presence of mind, and you should not fear for this kind of questions. So mostly they have focused on three parts, that is economics, polity, and history. Economics, polity, and history, and to some extent after that they have concentrated on environment and ecology. Environment and ecology. These four things only they have concentrated on, which I always said in the class that these are the classical subjects which you have to keep in mind, and please revise it again and again before the examination. Last 1 week you have to concentrate on these papers only rather than the current affairs. So they have asked most of the questions from these sections of the syllabus. Then, so this is what is which of the following is used in preparing natural mosquito repellent. So when you know this mosquito repellent, this is a common sensical question that uh, if you go to a shop, you ask for this mosquito repellent creams or some sprays are also we are able to buy these days. So citronella oil sprays are being available in the market. So completely bookish knowledge they are not concentrating on. You should have this awareness about what is present, what is happening in the society. These things can make you clear this examination rather than completely bookish knowledge. How much ever you read the books, you can't answer these kind of questions because they are not concentrating on these NCRTs anymore. They are making you people aware about large number of things. If you are aware about large number of things, then you can easily clear this examination. Otherwise, you are staying in a room and reading certain books and revising it again and again will not make you qualify this examination. That is what UPSC wants, the people who are not bookworms. UPSC wants the people who have awareness, good enough of awareness about the society and about what is happening around them. That is the reason why they have asked the sports questions. Because of lot of stress and because of immersing themselves in the books, they are not enjoying this preparation. That is the reason why they are saying concentrate on the sports also. Watch some certain sports channels also, so that you feel relaxed. And UPSC needs these kind of people. So where you will read this hedgehog, marmot, pangolin, all these things. See, he himself has given that all the three are not the answers. So some kind of tips he is giving, but to some extent it is unconventional questions only. You can't remember everything which you have studied, and you can't read everything also. Which one of the following is a filter feeder? See, you can't find these kind of things in the NCRTs. You have to uh, get the knowledge from the YouTube, get the knowledge from the newspapers, all these things. Whenever you see this kind of animals in the newspaper, try to remember it. So this is a kind of unconventional and really a eye opener examination for the UPSC aspirants. Now you have to completely change your strategy. So from 2021, the strategy for this UPSC examination has changed completely. So you have to be enjoying the preparation by discussing more and keeping your knowledge, keeping your ears, eyes, and mind open to the knowledge from wherever you get, not just from the NCRTs. Initially, around 10 years back or 15 years back, teachers used to say that read the NCRTs completely from first page to last page, revise it 4 to 5 times, then easily you will clear. But this is not the case in the third decade of 21st century. You have to be a person who likes the knowledge, person who is very much enthusiastic in getting the knowledge. And history questions are again on the tougher side only. This is a easy question, Dholavira. But this is easy question, Dholavira. But these questions like first quarter of the 17th century, in which of the following was or were the factories of East India Company located? So these are on the tougher side only. Broch, Chikkakol, or Trichinopalli. All these things are, we generally don't try to remember all these kind of facts. So this Middle India questions they have asked. So let's see the questions once, and we will have a elaborate discussion. What should be your preparation style in the for the coming year 2022? So most of the questions they have asked from the Middle India also, and art and culture, rather than from the modern India. Modern India used to be the favorite topic for the UPSC, but this time it is not like that. See this question: Madanapalli of Andhra Pradesh. Which one of the following statements is correct? Pingali Venkaya designed tricolor of international flag here. Patabi Sitaramaya led the Quit India movement of Andhra region from here. Rabindranath Tagore translated the national anthem from Bengali to English here. Madam Balwatsky and Colonel Olcott set up headquarters of Theosophical Society first here. So I will say about this question. When I worked in Bangalore, one of the company, our plant is there in Madanapalli, Chittoor district. So I went there, and I have a habit of uh, uh, looking for the places nearby. Why it is famous? Are there any historical places there? So this my enthusiasm at that point of time has helped me in this to answer this question this year. So Madanapalli, Rabindranath Tagore came to this Madanapalli, one of the degree college, and there sitting in a dais the person who is there, who is proper from there, has shown me. Rajendra Tagore has sat in this ground, and this is the one of the oldest degree colleges present here. And he has sat here and he converted this particular national anthem from Bengali to English over here, sitting here only. So this kind of enthusiasm you should have, rather than completely. Nowhere you will find this kind of question or information present in the books. So whenever you go, try to roam here and there. No, have this zeal for the knowledge. Then Saint Francis Xavier was one of the founding members of Jesuit order. Who will know all these things? I don't know this about this particular question. So Mitakshara, people know who wrote with this Mitakshara and all these books, Dayabag and Mitakshara, but what is present inside they're asking. So it is a also a tougher question. So Bhavabhuti, Hastimalla, and Kshemeshwara are famous were famous for what? So I haven't listened about these things when I'm even though I'm doing this preparation from 4 to 5 years. Okay, tougher side only they have asked. This is one of the question from the modern India, and to some extent it is in the easier side only. And 1942, August 8th, 1942, why it is famous for. So you can eliminate these two options. Viceroy's executive council was expanded and Congress ministers were resigned. But these two answers are probable. Most of the questions over here in this particular paper are 50-50% chance only. You can eliminate two options and you are stuck with the two options. But you have to choose one of the options from the two options. So this is also a question which you get confused. So, but if you see which is more important event, Quit India movement is more important event than Cripps proposed to the Indian Union with full dominion status. This is not the important event. So by that you can mark this Quit India resolution movement on August 8th. So songs from prison. Trust me, after seeing this question, I have searched in the internet who wrote this, who made this translation, but I haven't found the answer in the Google itself. So you can see what UPSC is focusing on. The thing is that you should never lose your confidence in the examination hall. You should never lose your by seeing these questions. People get demotivated and people get discouraged. But this is not the place to get discouraged. That is not the time, and that is not the place to get discouraged. That is the reason why in the examination hall you should have this kind of 100% confidence and 100% courage to answer whatever the question. Fake, what kind of question you want to throw me, throw on me. I'm ready to face each and every question which you throw at me. That is what your confidence level should be. So these are the certain things. Ajanta Caves, what is the river present behind it or beside it? Sanjay Stupa, what is the river near to it? So all these things, whenever you read the history or all these things, try to environment and ecology, national parks, what are the rivers going through it? Historical places, what are the rivers going through it? These are important things. People who have visited the Ajanta caves might have answered this kind of question, but I haven't visited this Ajanta caves. Then permaculture and this palm oil, all these things are to some extent from the higher side, from the tougher side only. There is no question which I can say that this is the easier question. You can easily answer this kind of one, except one or two like blue carbon is there. That is also one easiest question. Least efficient crop you can write. So this easily you can eliminate. This is oil seed, that means which takes less amount of water. Pear millet is a dry crop only. The pulses, this kind of things. Red gram is also a kind of carouse grains, which is also a kind of not grains. It is also a kind of pulses only. So these are which use less water. These are grown in semi-arid and arid regions. So if you see this, least water efficient is sugarcane only. So that is a Kaveri river water issue happened because of paddy and sugarcane only. Okay. So all these things you can easily uh, say that these are on the tougher side, not easy paper, not at all an easy paper. Moringa tamarind tree is endemic to South Asia. Who knows this tamarind tree is endemic to South Asia? Yes or no? Black cotton soil. This is also one of the easiest question which I can see. because this black cotton soil is present in Deccan plots only. Deccan plots have formed because of the volcanic eruptions and volcanic soil only. This is so fissure volcanic rock is. Then recombinant vector vaccines. This I have discussed in the discussions which where I have discussed some of the science and tech questions. So now they are asking about the vaccines, COVID vaccine. In the era of COVID vaccine, you should know about the vaccines also. So these are recombinant vector vaccines are genetic vaccines. Okay, and this about three baby, three parent baby is also I have discussed in the discussions. So mitochondrial disease from parent to child can be prevented. All these things which we have discussed. And this is also one of the toughest question. Area of the hole of the lid, hole in the lid, and temperature of the flame and weight of the lid. So all these things. Who knows the pressure cooker? What is the cooking when food is cooked? On what factors it is dependent on? Yeah. So this is a easy question. Water dissolves more substances because of its dipolar nature, plus and minus present on different sides, and they can easily dissolve the opposite agents. Bisphenol A, triclosan. So triclosan, if you see this toiletries or whatever you use the cosmetics in the for the sanitation in the washrooms, you can see this kind of element present in it. So you should be uh, enthusiastic about what is present in this, what is present in that. All these things are important. ACE2 enzyme, which we have discussed in the discussions, like this is present. This particular ACE2 is present in the woman. This is linked to X chromosome rather than Y chromosome. That is the reason why women are more resistant to this COVID virus, because they have this two X chromosomes with them, and ACE2 is linked to the X chromosome only. So they haven't asked directly the COVID. They said that spread of viral diseases. Okay. Then astronomical distances are measured in light years. Why they are measured in the light years? Basic question it is. Then British parliamentary democracy. So these, to some extent, polity questions are mixed questions. Some questions are easy and some questions are difficult. Okay, in Gopal Swami Iyengar, this one, no one knows the answer for this. So if you are not following this question, also doesn't matter. But you should answer these questions. Right to privacy comes under which fundamental right, and this is also a tougher question. Who Sri Devilal contested from three constitutional, three Lok Sabha constituencies? Who knows? Are we preparing for some kind of bank exam or what? So you should know need of facts. They should ask the conceptual knowledge. Why they are asking these kind of factual questions? I don't understand. Judicial custody means these two questions are completely from out of box questions. So these things you will learn when you get into the service, when you get into IPS or IAS. What is the judicial custody? Who can get the parole on all these things under which sections? I said when I was discussing the polity questions, I have discussed about CRPC and CPC and IPC. So what is the main, what is present in CRPC and what is present in IPC mainly? What is the difference between them? But they went a step ahead and asked these kind of questions, 82 and 83rd question. Yes. You have to know everything. That's what UPSC thinks about. You should be aware of the things rather than immersing yourself in the books. Try to watch the news. Try to know what does this mean, what does that mean. Just Google it. More Google helps you in clearing this examination rather than the books. That's what the learning from this kind of paper. Best determines what best defines the state. Yes, all these things. Which of the following factors constitute the best safeguard for liberty in a liberal democracy? Okay, so this is also a kind of very unconventional question. Many people have made it wrong. Even I thought it is a committed judiciary, but most of the coaching institutes have given the answer as separation of powers. Yes, separation of powers is the right answer, because every separation of powers, it divides legislative, executive, and judiciary. So when it is dividing these three, and these are watertight model, no one should step on into the other areas. So they have given independence at each level to do whatever they wanted to do. This is called the liberty which they have given. Legislation has given the liberty to make the laws. Executive has given the liberty to execute the laws. Judiciary has given the liberty to interpret the laws. So this is called. This is the answer for this kind of liberty in a liberal democracy means. So whatever you see, the questions are not checking your basic simple knowledge, but they're asking basic things only, but they're testing your higher level knowledge. So concentration of wealth under the Indian constitution, where do we find this concentration of wealth violates? So all these things are nowhere you will find in the books. This is a current affairs question only. UN Capital Development Fund and Arbor Day Foundation have recently recognized Hyderabad as 2020. I have discussed this question in the current affairs section. So these three are sports related questions. So my pity to the people who are taking the test series for this examination, for the next year's examination, because prelims becoming this much unconventional, the coaching institutes will make the questions so hard such that you will get into a lot of stress. You have to read whatever present in the newspaper, even the simple things also you should read. That is what coaching institutes will concentrate upon. But my sincere suggestion is that don't change much of your strategy. Go for the conceptual understanding only. Let me see you directly and speak. So my suggestion to you is that try to focus on the conceptual knowledge only, rather than going behind the coaching institute's test papers. This year, the coaching institute's test papers will be too much hard, because they will ask whatever they see in the about the sports. They will at least focus on 10 questions from the sports, but you don't have that much time to focus on the sports. Yes, who got this award, who got that award, what are the awards of F1 race, what are the awards of Wimbledon, all the things they will ask. But I don't think UPSC will increase its sports quota in the question paper more than 2 to 3. This time they asked 3, but next year they may not ask even a single question also. But coaching institutes are not like that. They will focus on what UPSC has asked in the previous year. For example, my own experience, I'm saying in 2016, UPSC focused more on the facts, more on the current affairs things only. So coaching institutes after 2016 have focused completely on the current affairs only, completely on the current affairs. Whatever the static knowledge you have is waste. But what happened in 2007 question paper? They have asked conceptually. They did not ask mostly on the current affairs. They focused on conceptual understanding only and static part. So this is what UPSC tries to change its pattern every year, and every paper is unique paper only. So my suggestion is that don't go behind the coaching institute's question papers. Try to increase your basic understanding of the subjects which you get, and do Google search more than reading the books. Try to know everything, whatever you see in the newspaper. Try to know everything about it. Uh, be knowledge hungry rather than book hungry. Try to search, and wherever you go, try to know about that place and all that. Increase your awareness of the country, or increase your awareness of the people, or increase your awareness about this subject. That is what I meant to say through this question paper, after seeing this question paper. So as if you have written this year's examination, and if you are expecting a call for the mains, and if you are in the border, then focus on essay and ethics. papers this 1 month or until the results come. Okay, and once you are positive, then join one test series or start writing the answers for GS2, GS3, GS1, and everything optional also. So essay, ethics, and optional also you concentrate on in this 15 to 20 days. I think the result will come in another 15 days. So this time people are saying it will come by November 29, October 29th or somewhere else. So do this thing until the results come. And if you haven't written this year's examination, or if you are feeling that I will not qualify, then don't worry. Don't start the prelims preparation now itself. Start the mains preparation. Strengthen your optional. Strengthen your GS papers. Then from last 100 days or last 150 days, you focus on the prelims, because this when I spoke with many of my friends, colleagues who have written this year's examination 2021 from my service. They said that if you prepare or if you don't prepare, it doesn't matter much, because question paper is like that. Whatever you read, it is not coming, and if you don't read also, that doesn't matter. So now the scale became balanced. Okay, so strengthen your mains. Prelims to some extent became luck based only and confidence game only. So don't lose your confidence in this preparation by seeing this kind of papers. Don't quit from this examination. And if you feel confident, if you have trust among confidence among yourself, or trust about yourself, don't quit this game. Okay, try to give again, and clear this examination at any cost. Now the time for preparing for the mains and strengthening your conceptual knowledge, not the factual knowledge. PT 365s and all these things are not a matter much now. Okay, so this is what my sincere suggestion for you people. So thank you so much, and all the best for your mains examination.